In the sprawling, unforgiving wilderness of Washington, some secrets don't stay buried, they wait. On June 2nd, 2025, investigators stumbled upon a scene that would chill an entire nation. A silent, gruesome testament to a final, desperate struggle. But the truck wasn't the most horrific part of the discovery. What lay just 75 yards away was unimaginable. Down a small embankment, police found the bodies of 3 little girls, 9-year-old Paityn, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia Decker. The cause of death, suffocation. The prime suspect, the one man who was supposed to protect them with his life, their own father. This is the story of Travis Decker, a former soldier turned fugitive, and the mystery of how a girl dad could become a monster. Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia. Their names were synonymous with laughter, dance, and boundless energy. They were, by all accounts, incredible little humans, the heart of their mother Whitney's world. And their father, Travis Decker, was seen as the enthusiastic girl dad. He was active in their lives, taking them camping, cheering at their games. But behind this perfect facade, a storm was brewing that no one saw coming. Decker was a former U.S. Army infantryman, a staff sergeant who served in Afghanistan. Military service was his family's legacy. But after leaving the Army, the bumpers that kept him in line were gone. His mental health spiraled. Diagnoses of BPD, severe paranoia, and PTSD plagued him. He was supposed to be on medication, but his ex-wife Whitney believed he had stopped taking it. His life became unstable. He was homeless, living out of his RV or truck, a far cry from the stability his children needed. In September 2024, a judge had seen enough, granting a modified parenting plan that stripped Travis of overnight visits. Friday, May 30th, 2025. It was the last time Whitney would see her daughters alive. He was quiet, too quiet. His final words to her were a simple, hollow promise. "We'll see you at 8. But 8 p.m. came and went. Silence. Whitney's concern turned to raw fear. Every call to Travis went straight to voicemail. This was wrong. He was always reachable. Something was terribly wrong. At 9:34 p.m., she did the only thing a terrified mother could do. She walked into the Wenatchee Police Department and reported her 3 daughters missing. The initial search was a dead end. Police checked local motels, campgrounds, state parks. Travis Decker's name was nowhere to be found. Whitney begged police to issue an Amber Alert. In a move that would later draw massive criticism, the request was denied. The official reason? There was no evidence the girls were at risk of serious harm. A bureaucratic decision that would haunt everyone involved. But investigators would soon uncover Travis's digital trail. In the days before he vanished, he was searching for an escape route. He was planning a new life, one that presumably included his daughters. On the very day he took the girls, a neighbor had a weird encounter with him. He looked skinny, sad, and seemed completely out of it. Here, the official story begins to crack. While Whitney initially told police he was a good father, court documents painted a much darker picture. A man with volatile behaviors who had once taken his daughters to a homeless shelter overnight. There were other, more terrifying red flags that had been missed. Incidents where the girls would come home crying from visits. One daughter was injured when a weight fell on her at an armory where Travis had left them unsupervised. In another horrifying event, a daughter nearly hanged herself with a bathrobe cord. Whitney was never told. He had been ordered to get psychiatric help, to attend anger management. He refused everything. For 3 days, there was a sliver of hope, a hope that Travis and the girls were simply hiding, camping off-grid. Then, on June 2nd, that hope was extinguished. The discovery of his truck changed everything. The search of the immediate area led them down an embankment and into a parent's worst nightmare. The medical examiner's report was clinical and brutal. The girls had plastic bags over their heads, their wrists bound with zip ties. The case was no longer about a missing person. It was a hunt for a triple murderer. An unprecedented manhunt was launched across one of America's most rugged and remote landscapes. Dozens of agencies, hundreds of officers, all with one goal: find Travis Decker. The U.S. Marshals put a $20,000 bounty on his head. They considered him armed, dangerous, and a significant risk. And this is where the mystery deepens. Travis possessed extensive military training in survival and navigation. He had lived off-grid for months before. But a former platoon mate claimed he wasn't some Rambo type. So which was it? A master survivalist or a desperate man in over his head? The search area is immense, dotted with abandoned mines, caves, and vacant cabins. Countless places to hide. Then, a promising lead. Hikers reported seeing a lone man ill-prepared for the conditions, actively avoiding people. A helicopter crew spotted him, but as soon as he was seen, he vanished into the tree line. A K9 team picked up a scent, tracking it for miles to the Ingalls Creek trailhead. And then, the trail went cold. He had disappeared, like a ghost. After weeks of searching, authorities had to face a grim new reality. There was no certain evidence that Travis Decker was even still alive. The search mission began to shift. Resources were being redirected from a manhunt to a recovery operation. They weren't just looking for a fugitive anymore, they were now searching for a body. Yet the possibility of his escape lingers. Authorities released new images, showing how he might have altered his appearance, a ghost who could be hiding in plain sight. While the hunt continues, a community is left to grieve an immeasurable loss. At a memorial for her daughters, Whitney spoke for the first time, her voice breaking, but her spirit determined. They were incredible, she said, vowing their legacy would live on. Support poured in from around the world, a testament to the 3 bright lights that were so cruelly extinguished. The wilderness holds the final answer. Did Travis Decker orchestrate a masterful escape? Or did the same mountains where he ended his daughters' lives become his own tomb? For now, justice for Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia remains elusive. A ghost story whispered on the wind in the Cascade Mountains. The question isn't just where Travis Decker is, but what turned a father into a killer. Hundreds of officers have combed the wilderness. K9 units have tracked scents that vanished into thin air. He could be hiding in one of 1,000 forgotten places, or perhaps the search was over before it even began. The authorities themselves admit, the longer he is missing, the more likely the wilderness has claimed him. Yet the other possibility is just as chilling, that he made it out. A new face, a new name, hidden in plain sight. For the family left behind, the questions are a constant torture. Was this a tragedy of mental illness? A cry for help that went unanswered? Or was it an act of pure malice and control, planned with cold precision? The community remains on edge, a shadow hanging over their peaceful town. But they also remember the 3 bright lights that were stolen from them, their laughter, their curiosity, and their spirit, a legacy that deserves justice. What do you think really happened? Did he escape and create a new life? Or is he lost to the wilderness forever, his final secret buried with him? The conversation continues, and every theory is a piece of the puzzle. Let us know your theory in the comments below. We dedicate this story to the memories of the victims, Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker. If you believe these stories need to be told, and that victims should never be forgotten, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a case. Thank you for watching.